On this video report, I've got 3 complimentary plays coming your way, plus an update to that quirky little trend that I've told you about, something I discovered about 12, 15 years ago, where the first 10 to 12 weeks of the regular season, if you look at the straight-up winners, they are a phenomenal play against the spread. Plus, a little betting advice once more on how often it is advantageous for you, if you like an underdog, to make a smaller wager on that dog on the money line, and it all plays into that quirky little trend too. Now, yesterday I had another normal top-rated 15 dime play as I was going for college winner number 5 out of 6 overall on the heels of cashing in with Nevada on Thursday and BYU on Friday. I came out with my SEC game of the year on Florida, and if you got that play, obviously it was a winner as the Gators, a 3-point underdog, absolutely destroyed Georgia. I thought the basis of that play, the genesis of that selection, came back to Georgia's play against Alabama back in October, where Alabama's quarterback Mac Jones shredded that Georgia secondary for over 400 yards and 4 touchdown passes. And that Georgia defense, thought to be so strong coming into the season, was certainly susceptible. And yesterday, I based my selection on Jones's performance because I thought Florida's offense, with Kyle Trask at the helm, would have similar success and fare even better. And guys, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen Kyle Trask of Florida, and the Gators are not a great team, trust me, they have their defensive issues, as you saw when they lost outright at Texas A&M in the 3rd game of the season. But Trask yesterday, 30 for 43, 474 yards and 4 touchdown passes. This guy is going to be a future NFL quarterback. So, nice easy winner there. Now, today, raise the bar 20 dime release, matching my highest rated play of the NFL season. Raise the bar winner number 27 out of 42 and 10 out of 14 overall. It's the Sunday night game. It's New Orleans and Tampa Bay. And it is once again the half price play of the day simply by using coupon code NIGHT, N-I-G-H-T. If you're looking for some big plays on the early card, you might want to check out Mitchell Newman. NFL Sundays, he's won 7 of 8 NFL Sundays, 7 of the past 8. And today, top-rated 100 dime winner number 22 out of 35 on the heels of BYU on Friday night, on the heels of the Steelers outright last Sunday. It's his AFC game of the year in Baltimore and Indianapolis. NFL winner number 15 out of 21 overall. You get it for over half price off. Also, Chuck O'Brien, props going out to him. Yesterday, 3rd ever 150 dime college football release of his career and 3rd straight winner on a Saturday with those 150 dime plays. Previous Saturday, Ohio State over Penn State. Yesterday, Cincinnati hammering Houston. Today, 9th ever 100 dime NFL release of his career. Miami and Arizona, you get it for over half price off as he goes for winner number 20 out of 30. Those last 29 releases, by the way, have made $10 bettors $10,770. I've taken every one of those 29 plays and discounted them for over half price off, as I continue to show you that you don't have to spend big money to make big money. Same thing goes today. You get it for over half price off. All those coupons and discount codes are over on the homepage of the website. Now, with that being said, let's get to your complimentary plays. But first, let me update you on that quirky little stat. So, straight up winners, something I noticed, like I said, 12, 15 years ago. I even lose track now. If you look at the straight up winners in the NFL over the first 10 to 12 weeks of the season, you look at them, you will find that they cover the spread anywhere at an 80 to 85% clip before starting to tail off around that 10 to 12 week stretch. Well, going into today's action following the Packers win on Thursday night, the straight up winners are 93, 23, and 4. 93 wins, 23 losses, and 4 pushes. Now, as I always say, if we could simply sit here and pick the straight-up winners, we'd all be multimillionaires, and we wouldn't be doing this for a living. We wouldn't be gambling. It would be like having psychic abilities. We'd be Miss Cleo, and we just pick the straight-up winners, and off we go. 93 wins, 23 losses, and 4 pushes. Now, I will tell you, last week, the straight-up winners won 11-3. The week prior, they had their second worst week of the season, going 9-4-1. I was a little concerned that perhaps the trend would be leveling off, but again, it rebounded. The straight-up winners won 11-3 against the spread last week, 93, 23, and 4 on the season. one interesting trend that has been prevalent of late is that the underdogs have had their best little run here of the entire season. The dogs went 10-4 last week. The week prior, they went 8-6. Underdogs are 15 games over the past 4 weeks combined. They have a 15-game advantage. I'm just looking for a note here. As you can tell, I'm scrambling. They are 15 games over the past 4 weeks combined. However, for as good as that sounds, the dogs are only 13 games over. They only have a 13-game advantage against the favorites on the entire season. So again, when you hear these guys, and you'll hear some handicappers, oh, you got to play the dogs. You got to play the dogs. Really? For the whole season, the underdogs have a 13-game advantage. And 15 of those games have come in the last 4 weeks, okay? Now, here's something I want to tell you about. What you will find often, and this is a trend that is prevalent as well, that you will find that more often than not, at least 50% of the times, you will see that underdogs will also win the game straight up. So, my advice often is this, that if you like an underdog and it happens to be your best bet of the day, and I'm an advocate of just playing one single play a day, that you take that underdog and you make a smaller wager on the money line if that money line give back price is worthy, meaning it's a good take back price. And I'll give you a couple examples. Last week, if you like the Steelers, when they were a 4-point underdog at Baltimore, and you thought the Steelers undefeated would beat Baltimore, why not make a smaller wager on the Steelers plus $1.75? If you thought Miami was going to beat the Rams last week when the Dolphins were at home underdog and Miami was plus $1.65 on the money line, why not make a smaller wager on the Dolphins as an underdog price? Now, let me tell you what happens and why I point this out. So last week, you had 10 underdogs covering. 10 dogs. Best performance by the underdogs the entire season. 7 of those 10 underdogs won outright. The week prior, you had 8 underdogs getting the job done in Vegas. 4 of those puppies won outright. Going back, the week prior, when you had 9 underdogs, 6 of those 9 dogs won outright. The week prior, 8 dogs winning. 5 of those dogs won outright. 4 of 6 the week before won outright. 5 of 6 the week before won outright. 6 of 8 the week before won outright. Again, week after week this season, when the dogs have covered, 50% or more of those underdogs have won the game outright. Again, I'm not saying to make the money line wager your favorite play, but I suggest making it a smaller wager. I looked at the Florida-Georgia game yesterday, but Florida wasn't a significant money line take back for me. So I just made Florida my best bet, and that was it. If I could have gotten a huge take back price on the Gators, I would have had a smaller wager on the money line. Just something to consider when you're placing your wager, because the numbers bear it out. But I think a lot of time gamblers don't think that way because they're not doing the research like guys like me that, I don't know, maybe in my next life, maybe I'll be an accountant. Okay, so let's take a look at your complimentary plays today. On the late card, I'm going to go with Arizona. You see this line is up to 6 points against Miami. Let me ask you, did Miami win last week or did the LA Rams lose? I mean, was Sean McVay going nuts having Jared Goff, who has, listen, I broke my ankle here recently. I have as much mobility as Jared Goff in the backfield. Of course, Miami was teeing off on Goff. 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles by the Rams, 4 turnovers in total in that game. You know, Miami comes into this game with the #1 scoring defense in the NFL, giving up 18.6 a game. Okay, look at who they played this year. I mean, they, shut out the Jets. They held the Rams in check because the Rams played right into their hands. I mean, look at that game last week against the Rams. I mean, the Rams had over 400 and some total yards in that contest. The Dolphins had under 200. Tua, I mean, he was nothing great. 12 for 22, 93 yards, 1 touchdown. Dolphins minus their top 2 running backs today. Again, that defense has played some really bad teams this year. When you play that many bad teams, it's pretty easy not to give up a lot of points. I like the fact that Arizona's coming off the bye. Love the fact that, they've had a week to recover from that amazing come from behind win thanks to Russell Wilson's 3 interceptions at Seattle. I will put my money on Kyler Murray at home, laying those 6 points. And of course, I'm buying down the half point if that line is anywhere between 6 and 7.5, and go with Arizona in this one because I think that Arizona offense with an extra week to prepare will give Brian Flores' Dolphins defense, and try to say that 3 times quickly, more than enough challenges today. On the early card, Pittsburgh's minus 14.5 points at Dallas. You, over there in the corner, next week you could be starting for the Cowboys at quarterback. Yes. Only question to ask yourself here, does Pittsburgh suffer a letdown after winning at Baltimore last week? Have you seen anything from the Cowboys to give you any indication that they are a competitive team? Oh, sure, they looked good against Philadelphia last week, but let me tell you, have the Eagles shown you anything to prove to you that they are decent, even a mediocre, even an average team this season? They made the Cowboys look good because the Eagles are pathetic. Lay the 14.5 points. Hell, lay the 18 points with Pittsburgh. Lay 20 with Pittsburgh. If you're going to bet the game, you bet Pittsburgh. End the story, move on. Kansas City. The Chiefs are 14-2-1 against the spread, including the playoffs, in their last 17 games. Need we say more? And I like the fact that they're going into a bye and then have their big revenge game against the Raiders as they look to avenge their only loss of the season. Love the fact that they don't have the Raiders next. They go into the bye. Carolina's lost 4 in a row. And the defense, which was very young, wasn't good to begin with, has sprung a lot of leaks here lately, allowing 23, 27, and 25 points respectively in their last 3 games against the Bears, the Saints, and the Falcons. Yes, they get Christian McCaffrey back. He's not playing defense. Love the fact that Kansas City's receivers have so much speed that Carolina's secondary is going to be challenged. Now with Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell, I think Carolina's front 7 is going to be overwhelmed here. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to have to throw 5 touchdown passes like he did and throw for over 400 yards as he did against the Jets last week. I say Kansas City is severely underpriced, minus 10. This is a situation, rarely I do it. I would buy down the half point at 10.5, however, in this one, because you don't want to be beaten here at that price. Do it with Kansas City. Early game. Is Baltimore going to lose 2 in a row? Listen, their only 2 losses this year have come against the Chiefs and the Steelers, 2 teams that are Super Bowl contenders and have a combined 1 loss on the year. Who have the Colts beaten? They've lost to the Jaguars, go figure, and the Browns. They've beaten the Vikings, the Jets, the Bears, the Bengals, and the Lions. One-dimensional team can't run. Phillip Rivers, yes, he's coming off 2 consecutive 3-touchdown performances. He has 10 TDs against 6 interceptions this year. Has he played that well? The Colts defense has played great, but again, who have they played? I do have my questions about the Ravens. They aren't running as well as they did a year ago. They aren't running as much as they did a year ago. Jackson isn't running as much as he did a year ago. Defenses have pinched the ends. They've closed off the ends. They're forcing him and cutting off or containing him and forcing him more into the middle. And he's not an accurate passer. If you didn't know that last year, I'm not telling you anything new. But Baltimore minus 1.5, second straight loss, I just don't see it. So, of these 3 selections, who do I like the most? Or 4 selections, who do I like the most? I like Arizona number 1, Kansas City number 2, Baltimore number 3, and Pittsburgh number 4. That'll do it. Talk to you again tomorrow.